Hey there everybody, PSG Master 19 here. I know it's been a long time since I've done a video, and I'm sorry about that, but I've been super busy with work, and I'm actually a night shifter, so that means it's a lot harder for me to do stuff during the day. So here I am, I got some days off, and as you can see, I got a PlayStation shirt on. So what I thought I'd do for you guys today is I'm going to do a PlayStation 4 video for you, a PlayStation 4 collection video to be exact. And the reason I'm doing it the PS4 first for an update is because this year it looks to be like a great year for PlayStation 4, especially with the Crash Remaster coming out, or Remaster Plus, whatever they're calling it. And I cannot freaking wait for that because I grew up with Crash Bandicoot. It's actually the first video game I ever played, and the Remaster Plusing the first 3 games, and it's gonna be so freaking good, and it looks so good right now. June 30th, people. June 30th, mark your calendars. I cannot wait. What I'll probably do, actually, at some point, is I do plan on live streaming that, because it's such a momentous occasion, because Crash is what got me into gaming, and I even have a big plush of him, let's put it that way. He's like my favorite mascot of all time, next to Sonic the Hedgehog. So, because the very first system I got was a PlayStation 1, so I think I'm going to go backwards. So I got my PlayStation 4 games for you, then PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 2, and finally PS1 somehow, because my PlayStation 1 games are all like in a binder, because all my cases are in our attic, so, because I have crap ton of PS1 games. And PS2, I actually have them in a cabinet to my left of me, you can't see it, but it's all my PS2 games are pretty much in that cabinet. So, without further ado, let's get started. First up is Batman Return to Arkham. I actually got this for Christmas this past Christmas. And I never played the Arkham games on PS3, so when I found out they were doing HD recreation using the Unreal Engine, I'm like, okay, it's my chance to play it with all the DLC and whatnot. I did beat Arkham Asylum. I do agree that the final boss is kind of crap, because the Joker was such a big setup, and also he just giant, like, whoop-de-fucking-do. So, I started Arkham City. I'm liking it so far. I just got past the first, the mission where Catwoman goes to talk to Poison Ivy. It's a good game so far. I like it a lot. I just gotta get back to it at some point. I have such a huge backlog. It's not funny. So, I'm liking it so far. Next up is Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. Yes, I have all the versions up to date. Hopefully this will be the last Dead or Alive 5, because I'm still waiting for Dead or Alive 6. Because I got the vanilla version for Christmas, like the year that came out, and then down the line I got, what was after? I think it was Ultimate. And that was Last Round, I believe. Could be wrong. I think it was my 3. Very fun game. This is the hopefully the definitive version. So, Dead or Alive 6, people. Let's get it going. I want to know what happens next. Next up is Destiny. I have not played this yet. I'm probably gonna keep this and just get the collection at some point that has like all expansions. I actually got this 2 or 3 years ago before that collection even was a thing. So I have no opinion on this yet. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Fantastic game. It still has some flaws, but it's a step in the right direction from Xenoverse 1 for that formula. I still do miss the days of like Raging Blast and Tenkaichi, but this is actually a unique take on the Dragon Ball universe where it's not exactly the story we know and love. It's like, it has twists and turns with new characters and the timeline manipulation. I love how you can transfer your hero from the first game. And the best part is, like, say if I got mine on PS4, because Xenoverse 2 is only on the next-gen consoles, or the current gen, I should say. I was able to take my Xenoverse 1 from PS3 and have the data onto here to PS4 through the online cloud service feature, which is great, because that way I didn't get screwed over for the crossover. So, that's good. Fantastic game. I did beat the story. I still got to unlock all the characters. I will say it's not the final boss isn't as epic as the final boss in Xenoverse 1. Because, spoiler alert, Demigod was just, he was fantastic. He's actually voiced by one of my favorite voice actors of all time, Josh Greeley. And, Mira, he's alright. It was kind of a letdown, but at the same time it was pretty epic at the same time. I know it's kind of convoluted, but the boss was fun. I can't wait to play more of this. Next up is Dragon Quest Heroes, the World Trees Woe and the Blight Below. I've never played any Dragon Quest games. I know I got one from a good friend of mine. You should probably know him, Triforce Master 3000. He gave me his extra copy of, I believe, Dragon Quest V, because the original version he got, it was just the cartridge itself and it wasn't complete. So I said, you know what, I'll take your other copy since you got the complete version now. So I'll eventually get to it, because I know, it's hard to say without knowing the history, because I mean he's all about Dragon Quest, and I just got the Heroes because I like the hack and slash stuff. So plus I like the character designs, but I will get into it at some point. So Rob, if you're watching this, I will get to it very soon. But yeah, Dragon Quest Heroes 2, cannot wait. Driveclub. Good game. I'm kind of sad it didn't sell that well. If you like Gran Turismo, you'll like this game, because this is our holdout till Gran Turismo Sport, which I guess is gonna be GT7, but I guess they're saying there isn't even a 7. Sport's 6.5, but it can be this full game itself. It's weird, but this is a fun game. I like it a lot. I like how you have to lock all the characters. All the cars, from the ground up. You start with nothing, so it's a good unlockable quest for you. You work way up to all the way to Ferraris and whatnot. So it'd be good. I think some more of this. It's a good game. Next up is, Gravity Rush Remastered. This game is amazing. This game is phenomenal. I don't own a Vita yet, but I'm glad this came to PS4, so that way I wouldn't have to wait till I eventually do get a Vita. This game, the story is actually pretty compelling. It's about this girl named Kat who can control gravity, and she's amnesiac. I know it's kind of cliche, but the story gets pretty dark pretty fast toward the end, and it was not expected. I did beat the main story. I still gotta beat all the DLC, because this actually comes with the DLC. Fantastic game. I cannot wait to get Gravity Rush 2 at some point. I'm trying to actually save money up now, because I actually just got a new car, so I gotta pay off that. So it'll be a little while before I get new games, but I am getting Crash Day 1, that's for sure. That's only $40. But this is a great game. I highly recommend it. Next up is Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. I did get the limited edition, as you can see here. That comes with the pin. I don't know if you can see that right there. I did have a few disappointments with this. Key back cover was nothing special. I mean, don't get me wrong, the graphics were great and the voice acting was phenomenal, but it's not been about that for Kingdom Hearts. It's about the story. The story is very, very lackluster, and it wasn't really needed. 0.2, while it is a glorified Kingdom Hearts 3 demo, it's so fun to play. Aqua just flows so good, and she's probably my favorite character from Birth by Sleep, next to Terra. Ven's alright, but Aqua's my main girl. I love her so much. I love her magic and stuff. Dream Drop Distance HD, I did beat that recently. It's a good game, kind of short, but great story, great characters. I do like how it's pretty much Riku's game, because to me, when I was going between Sora and Riku, I felt like Riku had more depth to him, because all along it's been Sora. It's always been Sora and Riku, but Riku this time, it's his coming from darkness to light, which is great because I always liked Riku. And Sora is like how he's like going, following these like, he's very, what's the word? He's very gullible, and sometimes it's to a point where you facepalm. But I still love Sora to death. I mean, he's the main character for a reason. I will say some of the final bosses were pretty hard for me. Like the anti-black coat nightmare, he was a pain in my butt, and so I had to train for him. I had to train for young Xehanort, but overall, fun game. I'm glad I picked this up because, of course, I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I would not be getting Kingdom Hearts the HD 1.5 and 2.5 for PS4 because I already had them on PS3 and they work good enough for me. So I just gotta wait for Kingdom Hearts 3 whenever that will drop at some point. Hopefully within the next 2 or 3 years. Probably next year will be great, but we shall see. Next up is Injustice: Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition. And I'm more okay. I'll say this first of all. I'm more Marvel than DC, even though DC has some great characters. Like I love Batman, I love Superman, even though he's overpowered as crap. But it's interesting to see all the other characters that I don't know. So it's a very fun game. It's a fighting game, of course. If you didn't know. And this version, of course, has all the DLC and new costumes and whatnot. It's a great fighting game made by NetherRealm Studios, who did the recent Mortal Kombat games 9 and 10. I do have 9. I have not picked up 10 yet. This is my first few 2D fighters. I'm kind of going more. I'm more keeping a balance between 3D and 2D because I want to get more into 2D fighters. Even though I will always prefer 3D, but 2D fighters are pretty fun too. Fun game. I'm almost near the end of the story mode, and I cannot wait for Injustice 2. Next up is Knack. I believe this was a launch title for PS4. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was close to launch or launch. I actually, when I first showed the trailer, when I first showed the character, I thought it was like a Crash look-alike, like a clone. Because, I mean, Knack's hairstyle looks like Crash Bandicoot's like thing on top. So I thought, oh my god, did I bring Crash back? But no, it's its own thing. It is a fun game. I am glad it's getting this thing sequel, which I will be getting down the line when that comes out. I still have yet to beat this game, but it's a fun action beat 'em up platformer. But I seem to beat this game. It's fun. Mega Dimension Neptunia V2. Oh my god, this game. This game is amazing. I love it. This is actually story about this game. This is actually the first Neptunia game I actually beat. I do own all of them now. This is actually the second one I got. I got 1 first, then I got this game, and then I got 2, and then I got 3. I know, a weird order, I know. But, you'll see those in my PS3 collection video when I talk about them. This game is phenomenal. In my opinion, this is the definitive Neptune formula, since I have played all of them now, 1 through 4 of the main series. This is the 4th one. I love the story, I love the characters, I love the plot twists, I love the music. The music in this game is phenomenal. If you're a huge RPG fan and you're like me, you're like an otaku who likes your anime girls and a huge video gamer like me, pick this game up. You will not be disappointed. I love this game. I did beat it too, by the way. I got the true ending too. Because they're all multiple endings. Nitro Blasters Heroines Infinite Duel. I got this, I believe it was for a Christmas present from Triforce Master. Pretty sure. Rob, if you're watching this, correct me if I'm wrong. This game is very fun. It's like Dengeki Bunko, but with the Nitro Plus characters. And I did beat the pretty much for the most part Dengeki Bunko's all their little story climaxes things. This game I beat only with 1 character so far. I just need to play more of this. It's a very fun anime fighting game. I'm a huge anime fan, and I own a lot of anime. I can't wait to show you my anime collection. It's so great. So I can gush all about that. The only character I really know from this is Sonoko, Super Sonoko, and Saber from Fate, the Fate series. Everyone else, I have no idea. So I cannot wait to learn more about them and watch their series at some point in my lifetime. Oh, so much stuff I gotta do. Fun game. Very, very hard final boss. She can be cheap, but that's what fighting game final boss is not cheap. So, Shao Kahn, cough cough. Next up is Ratchet and Clank 2016. This game is the game based on the movie based on the game. Ratchet and Clank. I like the series, I do, but of the three like PS2 like duos, they're my least favorite. Even though I still like them. If I had to rank them, I'd probably go Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper and his gang, and then Ratchet and Clank. This game is fun. I did beat the original Ratchet and Clank on PS2. Well, technically I beat it on PS3 because I got the HD collection, which I'll show later on. This game's fun. It's very great visually. It looks like a Pixar film brought to life, like people have been saying time and time again. I'm sure you've heard multiple people gush about this game. Pick it up if you like action platformers. It's very fun. I got to see the movie, but I heard it's pretty much all the cutscenes in here, but I'll get it at some point. Still looking forward to that Sly Cooper movie. Hopefully it's still being developed, because I love Sly Cooper. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Funny story about this one. This past Christmas, before actually it was on Black Friday, I went to go to GameStop and I wanted to see what deals they had because I usually pick myself up something for Black Friday. Because this past Black Friday was this. The one before that was my PlayStation 4. The one before that was my Wii U. So unbeknownst to me, my parents had bought me this for Christmas. And when I told them that I got something for myself at GameStop, they're like, "Don't you dare." I pulled this game out. And they facepalm like, "Why'd you do that? Christmas is around the corner." I'm like, "But I want to treat myself." So they bought it at Best Buy because I actually got it cheaper than what the GameStop price was, surprisingly. But I'm a little bit into here. I did beat the first one, of course, because it's the sequel. It's a great game so far. I'm liking it. I still get to beat it, like I just said. I'm glad I came to PS4 because I knew it was going to sell crap on Xbox One because that system, in my opinion, isn't the best, but to each their own. So, 20-year celebration. I do own the original on PS1, and because I own the original on PS1, the reboot, and then this one. So, seem to beat this game. And yes, it is obviously the cover is obviously a parody of Uncharted, which is funny because Uncharted's a parody of this, but yeah, they blatantly ripped it off. But I guess flattery is the best kind of compliment, I guess. Or I got that mixed up. Next up is Song of the Deep. This game is fun. This is my first Metroidvania kind of game. I got this for, I think this is the other one that Rob got me for my Christmas. Yeah, Christmas. Because it was this and that Nitro Plus game. It's fun. I heard it's not the longest game, but I also did hear that it's not a good one for Metroidvania beginners. I heard Axiom Verge is better for that. I still need to get that at some point. But this one, I guess, is if you know what they are, I guess it's not too bad. But I've heard different things. But I shall see when I finish and beat this game. Next up, Sword Art Online Lost Song. I love SAO. SAO is probably one of my favorite animes of all time. Next to Code Geass and of course the Dragon Ball series and Fairy Tail. But Sword Art Online is a great series, so I was curious about how the games would be. This is my first Sword Art Online game. I did play Hello Fragment, share play with a friend, and I did like that game, so I'll have to get that game at some point. I know it's digital only, so I'll have to download that at some point. Because I do want to also get Hollow Realization, but I did hear that's the worst one, surprisingly. But I will get that one at some point. I'm not too far into this. I kind of get what's going on, but it's unique. I still need to get more into this at some point. But the anime is awesome. You should watch it. And I actually do own the entire series, surprisingly. The Order 1886. Oh boy. people are gonna like say, why do you have that crap game? Blah 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 blah. I have not played this yet. I heard it's fairly short, and once you beat the game, there's no post game. Like once you platinize it, you're done, which is a shame. But hey, I was interested in the story, and it's a very unique story. At some point, I mean, what am I saying? At some point, it's a very unique story. I heard. So, I'll tell you when I'll let you know more when I play this and beat it. Ah yes, I guess I'll do this together because it's all the same series. The Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection and Uncharted 4 Thief's End. I mean, of course it's Uncharted. I mean, what else can I say? Of course there's a lot of things. It's funny because this is the game that made me buy a PS4, even though it's the first 3 Uncharted's remastered, which I do own the originals. I wasn't originally going to get this, but then they announced that there was like exclusive stuff with this collection. Like there's like a picture mode, and there's actually an extra hard difficulty. I think it's called Brutal, if I'm right. Would I ever try Brutal after Crushing? Haha, I probably not. But it was neat how they made them all like looked like it's not as jarring going from 1 to 2 like the original was, because 1 is a bit dated with the graphics. I know graphics and everything, I know that, but 1 definitely needed the retouch the most. 2 and 3 look still great on the PS3 to this day. I'm not sure if the online is still available for 2 and 3, because the online is so fun, but this is only the campaigns, of course. So, great series, great series. If I had to rank them, well, here, of course, here's Uncharted 4. I'd probably go 3, 2, 1, 4. I mean, don't get me wrong, 4 is a good game, but it does have its flaws, even though it was constantly, what's it called? Pushed back, delayed. There you go. I will say I didn't like how they what's it called? Because you know how in Uncharted 3 you thought the story was ended, you know, with him filling his role with Nathan Drake and his Sir Francis Drake and whatnot. But I guess it was all about this pirate treasure thing with his brother, who came out of nowhere, and they kind of retcon. They retcon it somewhat, like where like that's why he wasn't mentioned, like, but it's like a cheap way to do it. But like but the one thing I did love about this game, the Easter eggs. Oh my god, the Easter eggs! If you didn't know, in the first 3 Uncharted's, they had a thing called a secret relic, and it was pretty much a precursor egg orb from the Jak and Daxter games. Well, in Uncharted 4, they actually have a secret relic for all of their franchises, Naughty Dogs. For Crash Bandicoot, it's a Wumpa Fruit, I believe. For Jak and Daxter, it's a precursor orb. For in The Last of Us, I believe it's a Firefly pendant. And I don't think I found any of them yet. So they are really hidden in this game. And also, like, another thing I like about Uncharted 4 is how there's like the secret like journals and whatnot, how you can like find out and like expand the story of the lore of the pirates. I was disappointed there was no supernatural like deity like how Uncharted 1 it was the Descendants, Uncharted 2 was the Guardians, Uncharted 3 somewhat had the Jinn. It had some kind of supernatural element. This one just had a creepy factor, like with the pirate crazy, all the jaws, all the tongues, you know. That's creepy, but I wouldn't call that supernatural. It's just like pretty much fucked up. So it was a very interesting game. But I bought it. I did get the collector's edition. I'll show off all my figures later on down the line. Good game. And I'm very excited for Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, I think it's called. I'm so glad that's getting a physical release. Oh my god, I can't wait for that. Because I do love, what's her name? Chloe. She's great. But I do prefer Elena. But I can't wait to see what Chloe and Nadine are up to after Uncharted 4. Last but not least, Watch Dogs. Another game I've not played yet, and I've heard mixed to bad things about, but I heard the second one's better. I actually got this at the same time I got Destiny, so I'll probably play this for shits and giggles at some point or another, but this is another game that is probably just for collection. I'll just play it for see how the story actually is and stuff and whatnot. So that is it for all my physical PlayStation 4 games. I'll probably like do a separate video for my digitals, or probably talking about them in my last video. Like, I mean, when I wrap up my PlayStation stuff. So I also do want to do, like I said, a Crash Bandicoot video, like talk about my thoughts on the collection and what I would like to see, and of course what they confirmed and what I think about that. So stay tuned for that, and thank you guys for watching. And it's right